Yo, people, what's going on? Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to Saeed TV. We are back live for the Straightjacket podcast 332, Monday evening. And we're here, man, on the back of another loss. I don't think we've won in the last 5 games now, but I think it's just become irrelevant, kind of even mentioning the fact that, it's just bad, basically. We got Nuruddin here. Nuruddin, how are you, man? Are you enjoying the weather? At least it's the weather. Is the weather helping you?
Yeah. I came back from the game. I was at the game yesterday.
Yeah.
I don't mind getting beat, side. You know me. I'm not a base. I don't mind United getting beat because
I know.
You know that song we've seen it all. That's about me and my generation, bro.
Of course.
That's about me. But losing to shit West Ham, getting olayed. I think some of you guys were all watching.
West Ham was up. Did they olay us?
Yeah, in the last couple of minutes they were olaying us. Olay.
Wow.
So they did I think about some 10 or 12 passes of Olay.
No way.
And guess what their fans were singing? Can't believe we're winning, you must be shit. You know what I mean? Can't believe we're winning away, you must be shit. You must be shit. You must be shit. Can't believe we're winning away. That's what they were singing. And then I look at the team, I'm like, why are you starting Euro? Why are you keeping man like Lindelof on the bench, saving Lindelof for some bullshit? To me, to you, those two on the bench and playing Euro.
Yeah.
Like, Amorim's pissing me off. I called him a disgrace yesterday. And if I had my way, him, the Ineos, the Glazers, the players, they would all fuck off because that's what they deserved after me sitting there. The only good thing, Saeed, look, you can see, look, I was halfway line, north stand, halfway line, right there. The sun was blazing. I'm talking about blazing. I got a tan. So I got a tan. And then I come back, did a little 40 minutes and went on my way to Frere Island, Goes to Garage, Sticky, Kelly the Rock. Yeah. I was having a whirl of a time. But the contrast was that, thank God I had that could save me. That I could see all the people that I grew up with, you know what I mean? People from primary school, you know what I mean? All my boys, all my football gang, or the whole of my side, you know what I mean, was there. Rusholm, everybody was there. So it was good, like it was a proper community thing, yeah. 3 generations of families were there, you know what I mean? So that was amazing. But everybody's saying to me, they're already in you and Saeed, man, what is this? What is happening? Like, everybody's saying, where's Saeed? Where is Saeed? I'm like, listen, Saeed's watching Real Madrid.
Bro, Real Madrid. I was thinking, though, is Nuruddin coming or not? Is he at the game? I think, he's probably at the game.
I would be there if I wasn't at the game. I was there.
Yeah,
I would have been there.
Yeah. And now I'm being told I'm on the fence, Nuruddin, man. I'm on the fence crew, man. You know.
Why are you on the fence? I watched your match reaction. You're not on the fence.
Yeah.
Everything you said, spot on.
Yeah.
Everything you said is spot on. Like, to me, I was just angry. I was angry. And I can be angry at managers, but I don't think it's Amorim's fault. I don't blame him for Amorim. He didn't want to be here. I blame the people who brought him here. And the people can't see that side. You know, the fan base. The fan base of football fans in general are cowards because we haven't got the power. Or there's a will. Sorry, there's a way to get rid of owners. Liverpool have shown us that they got rid of Gillette and Hicks. Yeah, it was the banks as well, right? The banks as well because Gillette and Hicks couldn't pay the money, so they had to sell the football club. But if there's a will, there's a way. So as football fans in general, we are too cowardly to ever go at people at the top. And you don't understand how I'm gonna analyze this thing for the people. It's nothing to do with just like it's football fans. No, it's this country. It's this country as a whole. It's the way people are conditioned, predisposed to hierarchy and to authority. That is what it is. So it's not just in football, it's in life, it's in society. That people, they can't get to owners, you can't get to the board. So what do? You blame the coach. Now, I called him a disgrace because yesterday he was an effing disgrace.
Yeah.
He was. Every one of those players on that pitch was a disgrace. Glazers and Ineos they're always a disgrace. They're the ultimate disgrace, right? They are our biggest problems, right? And before we go, I'm not seeing what time to nerd and says, let me take it off, talk about the owners. Yeah, you know what? All roads go back to the owners. Give me that flipping guy. Give me that Greek guy at Nottingham Forest. Give me that guy. He cares. He comes on the pitch. He tells the referees where they can get off. He's telling the coach, what are you doing? Saeed, give me that guy anything every day. He promised Nottingham Forest. He said to them, do you think I'm here just to make up relegation for that? We're going to have European football. Saeed, they're fighting for Champions League. Now, who? You would have said Nuruddin, behave yourself. If I would have said to you, let alone Nottingham Forest are fighting for Champions League, they've already got Europa League in the back, right? Give me that carer. Give me an owner. What have I always told you? Give me an owner who cares, who wants to win. Saeed, they don't give a damn. Jim was a vanity project, and he told you out of his own mouth. He came out in that interview with, we were crossing to the Chinese border from Cambodia, and I mean, they didn't even ask me for my passport. They mocked me. You know, they all mocked me. They didn't ask me for my passport because they know I'm a part owner of Manchester United. That's how big United are. Saeed, the whole thing is his legacy is to put a fucking circus tent where Old Trafford is now. That's what is interesting. His little circus tent there, right? And so then he can go, oh, I built them the stadium. So for me, majority of fans, if you only want Amorim out, then you're cowards. You're a bunch of sheep. You're a bunch of bootlickers. Because for me, the all roads lead to ownership. They dictate it. Minna, anybody else run your channel? You run it. Saeed, does anybody else run your channel? You do it. If something is not right with your channel or with you, who's to blame? You.
Yeah, you're right.
Accountability. If you own a shop, if you own anything, if you're in charge of anything, it goes back to you. The people at the top. They set the tone. They put the direction. They do it. So for me, watching that yesterday, other than that, look, you can see back to my East African colour. Back to my normal equator. It was the sun was sitting like it was, you know what I mean, back home. That's what it was. I got a bit of a tan, sat there. But the rest of it, in terms of being a football, for 27 minutes, we passed the ball. We kept possession. Actually makes a man look quite decent in that number 10 in that hole for 27 minutes. Saeed, we concede. And it's back to normal. It's not back to reality, but it's back to normal.
Yeah, I was going to say, we need to change that song now.
Yeah,
it's not back to reality.
It's not back to
reality.
It's back to normal. Back to normal.
Remix.
That's what it is. It's back to normal. Acceptance on Manchester United players just going through the motions on a football pitch. Going through the motions on a football pitch. And that's what it was. And Saeed, I'm not lying to you. People have sat next to like, everybody was just like, yeah, when they scored a second goal, we know. And then we'll have a little rally. And then we just play hoofball and do it. And then give the ball to Ahmad and go, you do it yourself. He's going to conjure it up every minute. So at the end of the day, we are where we are. But he's coming out like most coaches when the shit is the fan, and he's like a rabbit caught in the headlights. That's what Amorim was. Because 1 minute he was like, oh, we need to focus. A couple of weeks ago, it's like we need to focus on the Europa League. We need to. Masraouy's exhausted. So why the hell are you playing him 90 minutes? Why the hell are you putting? You tell me about Euro being fatigued as well. Why are you playing them? Why are you saving Luke Shaw? Who the F are you saving Luke Shaw for? Why are you saving Lindelof? Like, I just don't get his decision-making he's making on this football club. On the football pitch. There are things you can blame him and criticize Amorim. But to call this, in your match reaction yesterday, you said, we've lost, was it 12 times last season? This has been This has been coming. This has been years in the making. Things don't happen in a vacuum. Things don't happen out of thin air. It has been like this for a long, long time. But, back in the day with other managers, we used to do the daylight robberies. We used to do, stick up, hands up. We rub the points of you. And you know what? Last season, we did a bit of that. This season, we didn't do any of that. So at the end of the day, West Ham went 2-0 up, just parked in their shape. So they've not won away. I don't know what's the last time they won away.
The last time they won at Old Trafford was when Tevez scored to keep them safe, I think it was.
Yeah, to keep them up.
To keep them up, yeah. To keep them up. Carlos Tevez.
It was final day of the season, but United won the season. I saw we won the league that year anyway. So
big up Mina. Congratulations.
Big up Mina.
All the work that you are doing. Love.
Big up Mina. Mina, it's one of them where, I've been called up. I'm on the fence with Amorim, but even though I made it clear that I think he needs a transfer window, you know what I'm saying? But then again, if he was to be sacked, it's glaringly obvious that you can't really defend it, can you, man? It's one of them where something needs to happen, innit? You either back him or you sack him. You've got to make a decision, but you've got to do it early. If you want,
I don't know if you remember. I was just gonna say, Nuruddin, you said this ages ago that United shouldn't be in Europe next season and they should focus on the league next season, getting week in, week out play. And Amorim said that in a press conference yesterday. He said he's not thinking about the European final. If United are not good next season and they continue like this, he would rather not be in Europe and just focus on the week in, week out performances of the Premier League. And just a couple of weeks ago, it was everything is on Europa League. I think people are saying, reports are suggesting that, there's nothing kind of riding on Europa League for the manager. But I think there is. I don't think he stays if he loses the Europa League final. Because with less resources next season, less pulling factor, United is only going to get worse. We're only going to get worse. Genuinely speaking, I can't imagine United not being in any European football next year and going out and spending money and bringing in these players and the manager being backed financially, because Ineos might think, you know what? The guy hasn't even put a fingerprint on the team. Forget a whole footprint. He hasn't even put a little fingerprint.
Yeah.
So they might be second guessing it. But in the same kind of instance, I said this on my channel today. The problem with United is far bigger than Amorim. It's far bigger than the results. The results is what we see on the surface level, but behind it, there's so many other problems that I just think, wallahi, like I can't see the silver lining in the crowd, in the cloud. I can't see it getting better. People, Omar Barada thinks we're going to win or compete for a Premier League in 2028. But he's saying, guys, in 5 Eids, we're going to be participating in a title charge. That I can't even imagine that. Can you imagine United being in a Premier League race against Liverpool and City and Arsenal and whoever else at the time?
Apparently, the briefs today, sorry to cut you off. The briefs today are United are apparently top 6 is the aim.
But then I have a problem with that. You're lowering the expectations publicly.
Yeah.
And in that same breath, the manager is saying the culture in the club is toxic. Who is he talking about? Who is he talking to? He's talking about the players, but where is the players' expectations coming from? When the senior ups are probably telling them, don't worry, next season, top 6, just finish in a European spot next season. Then the fans are expected to accept that. Someone just said we wanted transparency, though. I don't want Ineos to be briefing the media every so often and feeding them stories so that it can keep fans quiet. We shouldn't know that top 6 is the goal next season. They should make us believe that this was a one-off season and next season United's competing for the title. Even if we're not, that should be, because forget that being crap has been acceptable. The losses have been normalized. Like when Ruben Amorim came in, I totally agree with the fact that he said it's going to get worse before it gets better. But now I feel like the worst that we're experiencing is going to be the norm and the standard for Ineos. That's what I'm worried about. That's my biggest concern. And if we are going to say that this is a norm and this is acceptable and this is what United is for the foreseeable future, guys, strap in, because some people will probably never see United win a title again in their lifetime. I'm actually genuinely worried. And one thing I will say is about the idea of Amorim in, Amorim out. I see both sides of the argument, because I think it's hypocritical of me to judge anyone that wants Amorim out, because I myself am not happy with the results. So it's hypocritical for me to say, how can you want the manager out? I can see both sides of the argument. If he stays, I can see it. If he goes, I can see it. If he walks, I can see it.
Yeah.
Because when the way that he references a lot about the culture and changing things from within, it genuinely makes me think that he himself is not happy with the situation behind closed doors. Like, generally speaking. However, with saying that, I watched the West Ham game, midweek, all these games under Ruben Amorim. And I can tell you 2 games that United have dominated from beginning to end. Everton, at the beginning when Amorim first took over, Real Sociedad in the Europa League. If we're talking about 90 minutes dominance where United...
Maybe Arsenal.
Come on. Arsenal.
Yeah. At home for 90
minutes, bro. We gave them opportunities. I'm saying 90 minutes of us being the stronger team consistently.
Yeah,
I haven't seen that. I've seen it twice this season.
That's fair.
I've only seen it twice.
That's fair. And this is the thing, right? And this is what I'm saying, like, bro, like, either way, it's gonna happen. But you need a strong, competent ownership to know what the plan is. Not for the fan base to be like, yo, we need him in, we need him out. Like, the ownership literally have to dictate where we're going. And also as well, like we should be rioting, man. There should be absolute riots going on. But we're just like, we're just calm about everything. Like, and I feel like once you become that, once there's
apathy, acceptance.
And then when there becomes an acceptance of something, I think that's when you start to realize, yo, like, it's gonna be always the fans that have basically in-house fighting. Like, we had a bloody Ineos letter, bro. Ineos letter was probably the reason why Ten Hag stayed. Does that ever happen at the other football club? Let's be honest.
I saw a video of Sevilla fans breaking in today, and they were waiting for players to arrive at the training ground.
Yeah, exactly. But that's seen as toxic and negative in our fan base, and we apparently we can't do that. You know what I'm saying? Or we can't show a response to what's happening. You're seen as a toxic fan. If you
it's not about toxic fan. It's not just a toxic fan. It's that the punitive nature of like how fans get punished when they demonstrate for their fans. The police,
that's another one.
All of that being going on, raided, arrested, all of that comes into it. And at the end of the day, we've been fighting this fight for 20 years. It's going to be the anniversary soon of 20 years of the Glazer ownership. And it's in every single way, in every way you look at it, fans want to ignore the biggest elephant in the room. And the biggest elephant in the room is the ownership. Yesterday, we saw an owner who cares about his football club. And I know people mocked him. People say, how dare he come out? Saeed, football, it's about emotion and passion. Everybody pack up. Everybody's pack up. Do not get in. Do not watch football if you're not interested in passion and emotion. That guy, I'm not a Forest owner. He's passionate. He is passionate about his football club. He promised the fans. Saeed, 20-something years they were in the doldrums. 20-something years they were in the doldrums. 20-something years they were in the doldrums. He come in and he's got them in European next season. And he's not happy with that. He wants Champions League football. He's broke whatever rule it is, took whatever points it is, right, to go on to want to win. And that's where we have it, people. It comes down to all of that, all of the rest of it. You see, Real Madrid are Real Madrid. This season, they're not going to win. But next season, I'll be sure.
They've got the 3 on it.
They're going
to be. Imagine United fans.
Saeed, why? Saeed, because there's a standard. There's a standard. There's an absolute standard. The players, everything you do, you fail, see you later. Somebody else comes in. That's how it is, because who determines the football club? The owners. the owners, the churn. They dictate. They stir the shit. Same with Barcelona. We were all laughing at Barcelona. We were laughing at them. Oh, how many more levers can they pull? Pull this lever. They're not even playing in their own stadium. They're playing in another stadium in Barcelona. But you know what? They're going to win the league. It's one of the most competitive league titles in a long, long time. They serve up what a game. They have delighted. They have delighted us. They have delighted us. Say whatever you want about them. That's what they're doing. Bayern Munich. Last season they didn't win. This season, week in, week out, bread and butter. But Saeed, most fans will tell me, but we got Europa League final. They're in the Europa League. Don't worry. Like that. So, and the biggest thing I always ask me now, Saeed, I ask people, what's going to change in 3 months? Season starts again in 3-4 months.
That's why he's stressed out.
What's going to change?
You know Nuruddin.
What's going to change?
I think that's why Nuruddin yesterday and Minna, he looked like a man that realized, shit, this is a lot like to do. I think yesterday was probably the moment you realize what you got to do and what currently the mess is. Like, and he might say, yo, listen, he said it every week, yo, Europa League is what matters. League, I'm going to play kids. When we see the kids play, we've already seen them. Only Amas and my man Fredrickson play. We haven't seen the kids play. We haven't seen Kone and all these kids play. We haven't. We have seen the regulars playing. So I think for me, he's confused. He's a man that... My worry is the fact that, is that he's very, very, like, emotionally... What's the word, man? Like, he's a young manager, don't get me wrong, but I feel like the job's getting to him now. You get me? Like, before...
Saeed, he never expected it. They promised him something different. They lied to him.
I'm looking beyond that, Nuruddin. I'm looking beyond
Saeed, listen to what I've said to you. He's a young coach. He's only been a coach. He's only not retired maybe in the last... He hasn't got that experience. And to come into this situation where Ineos and Glazers have done that amount of damage to the football club, and for him, and he knew himself. That's why he was like, I wanted to come at the end of the season. No, but also there is. Now the shit is the fan. He's realizing that's why he's talking about. He might walk away. He's realizing. He's realizing it.
But what I'm saying is that sometimes a job can be too big for you, though. Like, you know what I mean? Like, listen, he's gone from Sporting Lisbon to Man United. Like, the job sometimes can be big for you. Like, it might be just the wrong time in your career. And I'm not saying, like I said to you, that, when you say about he's not being backed, I hear all of that. But I also think him as a manager, though, tactically, he has failed in large parts, Nordin. Himself, we can look at the games and be like, yo, we don't really see a style of play. We don't really see what we're trying to do here. We might see Bruno Fernandes bail us out here and there. I do believe, though, like, tactically, though, he's failed a lot at Man United. Just on a when you look at it like black and white, he's failed on a tactical level.
You know what it is, though? I think when he came into the role, United beat Everton 4-0. That press conference, he said that it's going to get worse. And I think that's the moment that he realized I probably won't be able to get out of the players the style of football that I want. It doesn't take a manager coming into Manchester United to see the deficiencies of the players, the intensity and the physicality and the strength and, especially, characteristics that he needs for his type of football, right? And I'm not excusing him, but I think that that's the day that the season was a write-off for him, for Ineos, for everyone. And I just think Europa League is just the fact that if United had gone out of Europa League earlier in the
he would have been maybe sacked earlier.
I don't think people would have really been fussed. Well, I don't think people would have been fussed. It's the fact that he's gotten all the way to the final that everyone's like, okay, now you have to win it because you're in the final. But I genuinely think from that day of him saying that he would rather suffer now for the next 7 or so months and then next season be in a better place. The funny thing is there's no guarantee that next season you're going to be here. So you just suffered for no reason.
Suffered for no reason, yeah. I want to get these super chats
Mina, I want to ask you just one second, Saeed. Mina, in 4 months, what's going to change? Unless we clear out 10 players and bring 10 players.
Only players that come
It's
in.
only the players in and out that's going to change. That you're hoping. He's hoping, it's the hope that kills you in it, because he's holding on to the idea that he gets 2 free players that he can shoehorn into the team, a midfielder, maybe a striker, maybe a wing back, and it will make a slight difference to how United play, but not a complete difference.
Yeah.
It's the hope that kills you. But I totally agree, Nuruddin. Nothing. If something was going to change in 4 months, it would have changed 4 months ago.
Yeah.
But it's not going to change magically now because we're in the summer. The only difference in 4 months is the weather's going to get probably better.
but also, I feel like you can't have these amount of losses as a manager. Like it will.
No, but losing has become normalized.
Stain on you. Yeah, it's a stain.
Like
Normalized.
I saw a graphic of the losses this season, and out of the 13 losses in the Premier League so far under Ruben Amorim, I think 8 of them we didn't score in.
Yeah.
8 of 13 games that we've lost, we did not score.
So we're not even fighting as well. We're not
even competing. And that's why I said to you, since Ruben Amorim has taken over, I've only seen 2 90 minutes where United have dominated from start to finish. 2 90 minutes in the space of nearly 7 months.
Yeah. Let me get these super chats involved. Big up to everyone locked in, by the way. This 1.3K or 1.2K, 219 likes, guys. Come on, let's get these likes up, man. That means 1,000 people are watching and haven't hit the like button. It's free to do so. Bottom right corner. You're just helping the channel get it out to more people, man. So please hit the like button. Saeed, I watched your earlier show and I disagree with you about the Forest owner has every right to come on the pitch. There's nothing to like and nothing like time and place. He put his money where his mouth is and got Forest in this place. He has every right to do whatever he did. Big up to you, HKM Music. Tierney Barra says that there's context behind everything, but bottom line is a business of wins and losses. If you lose enough games, you're out. Simple. Shout out to Killer says, big up. I think Amorim should stay past the summer, but I won't defend his mistakes. Saeed, I DM'd a breakdown of United's financials. It's very, very bad. Joe Glazer's obsession is killing the club. Yeah, I'll show that in a bit now. Big up to you, Killis, man. The entire club needs a complete overhaul. Boot out Amorim, most of the players, and pathetic, incompetent owners. I'm sick of it. Even more disgusted by fan defending a business with mediocrity. Shout out to Abdaziz. He says, Super Archers, at what point do players take the blame? They are not playing 100% every game. Amorim can't play and manage. Still no intensity or pressing. I think that's a big thing that people are just like letting go of. The players are so bad, man. 20 years ago today, a dream ended and this football club was allowed to die. Glazers out, Ineos out. 20 years under the Glazers was a disaster, mediocrity, and now with Ineos, we're stuck with cycle of failure. Amorim's terrible manager. The players are useless and the club is lost. And Jay says, guys, don't you feel a sense of deja vu? The moment feels exactly the same to last season's, and this summer will look exactly like last summer. Oh, bloody hell. I mean, but Miller's right, though. The Europa League football is important for the financials. And but I look at the players as well, guys. Yeah, like it's very difficult for people to say, you know what, like we need more. But I don't rate half of these lot, man. I really don't.
Let me ask you a question. Yeah, well, like honestly, coming into this season, guys, did you genuinely think we end the season we'd be 16th, 17th?
No.
Do you genuinely and this is a question to everyone in the chat. Do you genuinely think United have the 16th, 17th worst squad in the league?
No way. I will never accept.
What is the problem then? What is the problem?
Listen, for me,
I know then you can't talk about the Glazers.
Yeah, without talking about
Glazers.
So I'm gonna say tactically the manager changing the system has affected results as well, because then they have to get used to that, they have to adapt to that. I think a lot of it is down to player quality as well. Like we don't really have the correct players for the system, and also the level of quality of players aren't good enough. Hoyle and Garnacho and these man here, I don't rate them. There's a lot of square pegs in round holes. You know what I mean? Like playing players for the sake of it because they're, they're certain players. I look at Ugarte. He hasn't got the best out of Ugarte. That's his guy.
Ugarte needs to be sold. He needs to be sold in the
summer. Listen, wallahi, I'm not backing anyone. Anyone who wants to be sold, do it. As long as it's not Ahmad and Lenny Euro. Them two are probably the only exception. Rest of them, khalas. You know what I mean? You can leave the door. But my thing, and then obviously I look at the culture of losing as well. Like we've lost 31 games, in the last 2 seasons. 31 games. So there's a culture of losing, and that synced in with the fan base. It's synced with the players. Like it's like that, I feel like we're losing games. Like it's not that winning habit, winning mentality. So the environment, the way the club is run, it's all intact. But I do believe like we're not set up to win as well. We're set up to almost like contain. Every time I'm at Old Trafford, we're the ones defending. I barely see maybe them games you're talking about, and maybe Man City game or Arsenal game second half, where we've seen a team that's willing to attack and not be afraid. Alex Ferguson played like total, like risk-free football. He's like, yo, we're going out to attack. I've not seen that with United over the years. Seen that in stages here and there. So it is a problem around the football club. But I just feel like now as well, even the fan base as well. I think the fan base don't really know what they want to see.
Wala, everyone's gone crazy. Yeah, everyone's gone. They've lost the plot. Me included. I've lost the plot.
Yeah, we've lost the plot. We don't know if we're a possession team. Do you want to be a transition team? Like I'm behaving now. Fans want Xavi Alonso, Xavi, right?
Yeah.
Want Xavi. But I just know the United fan base will get bored of Xavi come next season. We'll be like, you know what? That boring football, man. It's possession based, too much. You know how Van Gaal had the possession base. Fans didn't like Van Gaal, like a lot of fan base didn't like Van Gaal. Van
Gaal is the only manager that in hindsight, I look back and I think he should have
been given more time.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
Had a bit more time.
So I don't know what, and also the fan base don't know what they want. You take a kid to the shops here, and it's like you're there with him all day, and he doesn't know what he wants. But you as a parent need to say, you know what, you're getting this, and put it on. Soba, get out the shop. You know what I mean? It's true though. You get out the shop, you're getting this. That's what the ownership haven't established what the philosophy is of the football club. But you know what we've been indoctrinated with? United way. Well, it's no United way anymore. Create a new philosophy and say, right, this is what we're doing now. This is what we're on. There ain't no Fergie anymore. We haven't got the United history to keep us surviving for now. The United history is there for the museum. It's not there on a football pitch when it's
there's nothing wrong with using that as inspiration, but even if you look at Barcelona, look at Barcelona for example, right? Barcelona in the last 50 years have had so many different managers, but the one thing that has different managers, different playing styles, but the one thing has been to dominate opponents, and it doesn't matter how you do it, you just dominate. Look at Hansi Flick right now, and even Barcelona fans that didn't want Xavi to stay. Some Barcelona fans, they didn't want Xavi to stay. Some wanted him to stay. But even under Xavi, they were still competitive. They were still dominating.
Yeah.
They weren't maybe winning to the level that they expected to. Pep Guardiola, Luis Enrique, all different types of managers, different ideas, different philosophies in terms of footballing structures and how they set up on the pitch. But the root of it is the same thing. I don't care how you do it, win. Just win. And United... for me, the obsession with Sir Alex Ferguson, and rightfully so, because he's served the club so greatly, that should be used as inspiration, not the blueprint, because he's a one-off.
Yeah,
we're not going to get another Sir Alex Ferguson in our lifetime at United. I don't think so. I think we were lucky to have him. Use him as inspiration, not as a blueprint to replicate what he did. Because a lot has changed in 20 years. Like the times are different now.
Football has changed. Life has changed. Listen, to answer your question. To double down on a specific type of coach who needs specific type of players to play a specific type of system was the worst thing. Going from Ten Hag to Amorim was the worst thing. And the guy who pointed it out, Mina, was sacked. The guy who said, this squad is not compatible to the system that he wants to play. So when they realized that, they were like, right after season. That is what I see. The evidence that I have seen, and Amorim have said it. He's said it in multiple different interviews. The only thing that Amorim has done, the only success that Amorim has done is talk.
Yeah. Good talker.
Yeah, right? So at the end of the day, right, is that we had a specific coach, right, Ten Hag, who demanded so much of players, but actually then bought players who did not have the physicality to meet the league that which he was in, right? He didn't understand the league that he was in, and he didn't buy players with the attributes and the physicality to play that type of football, but he demanded a lot from the players. Then we double down and get another guy from another league, similar to the Dutch league, the Portuguese league. We bring him in, and he's got a Simpson. And Mina, I'm not lying to you. The third game at Old Trafford, I came back here, and I think I was on the Mandem, and I said, guys, we don't play 3-4-3. We play 5.
Yeah, 5.
We play 5. Yeah. We play 5 at the back. So Mina, and then we play 2 guys who are holding, right? 2 midfielders who stay behind. So when you're just attacking with 3 players, what the hell do you expect?
But do you know the back 5 thing? Because I see it sometimes in game, and I don't know if it's players just reverting back to what they know. So, for example, the wing backs who are wing backs, but they're fullbacks.
Yeah.
Are they just reverting to what they know rather than?
Of course, you know.
It's just, you know, and I see the manager sometimes shouting at them. Like, I remember Dallo, he was shouting at Dallo multiple times. And what actually what makes it even harder for me to watch United playing with this back 5 is when I watch teams like Inter, Bayer Leverkusen, AC Milan have started playing a back.
Crystal Palace
a couple weeks ago.
Crystal Palace, wallahi. Glasner, the schooling us. That Glasner guy, man, I'm telling you, man, he's underrated, man, and he's playing with Ismail Assar, who was playing in the championship, you know, the other season, Minnow. You know, he was chilling in the championship, bro. Yeah, and now he's thriving in the system. Eze's doing well, like, bro, like, I don't know, man. I'm starting to look at the system, and I'm like, you need specialists in here, man. You know what I mean? You can't be trying to turn water into wine. You can't polish turds in here, man. You've got to get, like, you can't be telling Lindelof to do this. You can't be. Even when I'm looking at Mino now in a system now, and I'm like, brother, Mino ain't a bad player, man. Why is everyone looking bad? Cool. The ones that I know are bad, they're bad. Like Hoyland, Sagamala saved Grenko, man. You can't be saved, that guy. Yeah. He can't be saved, Hoyland. But you see the others, they're good players, man. They're not bad players, man. Some of them are not bad players, but they're looking average. You know? And
a coach and a system, is supposed to get the best out of the actual players.
Best out of that, yeah.
But not to make them worse. Saeed is simple. So it's the wing backs. They play like wingers. And this is a team in the last 10 years, Mina talked about, analyzed like the likes of Barcelona. She looks at the likes of like Real Madrid or whatever. They just win. By any means, you have to win, right? But Manchester United in the last 10 years, other than Louis van Gaal, our football has been counter-attack football. Our football has been sit-back counter-attack football. So when you talk about refer to type, that's why the players we have refer to type. Because we all sit back, we all defend. And for me, you can't have 7 defensive players on a football pitch and expect the 3 to be so disconnected. And the only player any time in any game before you were talking about games where we might have looked good, the only games, I'm not going to lie to you, where United look good, it's been with Xerxes on the football pitch. Because and he's in the last third, holds the ball up. He holds the ball up and then gets us up the pitch. Invite people to come and run beyond it.
He got booed, don't know. He got booed.
Yeah, because Saeed, but it wasn't just him. He just, in that night, the frustrations of that game and the way Nico what were doing to us, he just felt the brunt of it. It could have been.
But do you get why? That's what I'm saying. Do you get why, like, United fans, we just don't know what we want? Because
of course,
we're
just
booing players.
Saeed, do you know why?
How can you boo a player? How can you boo a player in a team, where the team ain't functioning? You can see the team ain't playing well, but you're just looking at one player when everyone else wasn't doing well that day. So I feel like we're just looking, and this is what I mean about heroes, like heroes and whatnot. Like, bro, we don't need to
scapegoat and savior. I always say
savior United.
But that's what this club is made of. Do you think I just clutched that? I just took that out of my mind somewhere or my eyes? No, because I've been watching United. Manchester United always have to have a savior, and they always have to have somebody to scapegoat. But I'm saying to you, it's not. It's the owners. The scapegoat is. We don't have to scapegoat anybody. And the reason why it looks so bad because we lack direction, Saeed. There's no leadership. There is zero leadership. Yeah. We lack direction.
Yeah,
we lack direction.
This is the financials that Figure was talking about. Killis expenditure 696 million euros, income 184 million euros. That's a loss of 511.79 million. And I think there was another one as well.
No. You know what? I won't trust his post. I genuinely will not trust his post. I don't recognize those things.
Let me just bring this one here. This one here that Killer says here. United, yeah, there you go. Wages vary very considerably among top 20 clubs by total wage costs. Yeah,
we used to be number 2, number top. We're going down a little bit. This stat might be real because we're going down a little bit. But you look at Newcastle. Look, Newcastle are going to finish 3rd, and look where they are.
Yeah,
right. Because they're
these players, though, man. The high wages are not what. Maybe that's the reason why they're looking to maybe offload Bruno Fernandes. Maybe that wage is there and getting rid of them wages. But bro, like, listen, man, money's gonna have to come out somewhere, mate. Because bloody hell, man, it's gonna need surgery to do this, bro. Like, I'm saying, yeah, you need 5 to 7 starters, guys. Mino, what are you saying? It does
5 to 7 starters.
Yeah, I believe. Okay, let me just say 5 starters United need next summer. 5 starters.
United need, okay, if we're talking 5 starters, striker.
Yes.
A 10.
Yes.
I would even say 2 10s.
2 10s. Okay.
I'm not even mad at Ahmad at right wing back. Wallahi, I'm not even mad at that.
Okay. Cool.
Yeah. We need a midfielder.
Yeah.
We need I will say a right-sided centre back. We need a goalkeeper. That's starters. That's just starters alone.
What this guy?
And that's not in order because in terms of
we said 2 midfielders already, Mina. We said 2
I said
midfielders.
2 10s and a midfielder.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
2 10s and a midfielder.
2's for everything. 2's for everything. You know. 2
centre backs. 2 centre halves.
I would even say 2 centre backs. I would even say 2 centre backs.
2 centre backs, 2 midfielders.
I was thinking 1 centre back because we're
No,
I'm saying that, you know what, you can get away with.
If we're going to play 3, we need 2 centre backs. We need to let Harry Maguire and Lindelof go.
3.
We need to let them go.
If we played a 4-3-3, would we still need 7 players or would we need 5 players?
We need like 5 and then some backup players, but it's because of what we're like. The reason why I'm saying we need a centre back. We need 1 centre back, a starter, and we need 1 for. Mizraoui's not a centre back. He's not a right-sided centre back. So that's why I want a right-sided centre back. I don't mind having Mizraoui for depth.
He's been playing all right there, but
he's been playing okay. But I would rather have a right-sided centre back rather than someone we are forcing to be a right-sided centre back.
But then is he a right wing back though?
He can be for depth.
No,
I'm sorry, but I was just gonna say I see, like, look at Bisek at Inter Milan, or even on the other side, like Lenny Yoro is a left-sided, right-sided, yeah, both sides. Whichever side he wants, I would if I was United, I would say to Lenny Yoro, where do you want to play? Left or right? If he says to me, I want to play right, I'm buying someone for the left. If he says to me, I want to play left, we're buying someone for the right.
Yeah. Facts. I'm with you. I'm with you. Whatever he says, you get me. But then I like to. I think this idea of like Amad Diallo playing right wing back's been indoctrinated by the system. Like, Amad Diallo is a right 10, man.
He's a right 10, but also, wallahi, I'm being serious. Give me Mbeumo and Cunha. I don't care. I'll take that.
Yeah, I know.
I'll take that. And if we don't get both and we get one or the other, Amad in the 10. That's what I'm saying. It all depends on what United get. But if we're talking about...
Imagine we had a 4-3-3. Amad, where would he be playing?
He would be our right winger. He'd be our right winger.
Now we've got to play a right wing back. Because the system says.
But the reason why I'm saying right wing back is because for me, yeah, the way that I see the team, like,
we need to play wingers.
From how I watch the teams that play with a back 3 and 2 wing backs, their right wing back is not a right wing back. He's a right winger. Look at Frimpong. Look at Denzel Dumfries. Yeah, these are people established in a back 3. Your right-sided centre back is essentially your right wing back.
Go look at. Sorry to cut you off. Look at Amad Diallo yesterday. Do you want to really see Amad Diallo play there?
But listen to me. I'm saying, look at. I'm saying based on other teams that I watch, yeah, and how they have their right wing back playing. Their right wing back don't defend.
They don't.
He's there to cover. He's not there to defend. He's a right winger. Denzel Dumfries.
He's up the pitch. He's up the pitch.
Denzel Dumfries. He stays. Well, he's one of the furthest forward players.
I know, Mino.
Frimpong, one of the furthest players, and that's why you have to have a good right-sided centre back that is agile and can cover for that, because then you're playing, your man is getting back, your right wing back is getting back, but he ain't covering the winger. He's not covering, the right-sided centre back is. And you see the deficiencies that has, because you see the way Barcelona were capitalizing on Bisek. But I also watched Bisek against AC Milan, and he was doing pretty well doing that. I watched Frimpong for Bayer Leverkusen. He's a right winger. That's why I laugh when people say Liverpool should buy him, because he's not a right back.
I just think for me, I'm looking at Amorim right now, and if we're saying that things won't gradually improve next season, or they might not, they might do, I don't know. For me,
what gives you?
Because I'm just seeing a back five at the minute. I'm seeing a back seven, should I say? And I'm like,
that's what we see.
You know what I mean? And then obviously we go and get them. And for me, there's no guarantee, by the way, we're getting Mbeumo and Cunha, but Cunha is more likely. And Mbeumo, I'm not gonna lie to you, Newcastle and them man are gonna be on him, bro. But
what's more likely? I don't think some of these
like,
players are not gonna come to this.
Yeah, I just think for me, it's like, like we're in this back five, but I'm like, it's like I just feel like for me, it's like in the 10 role. I see you see that against Real. Was it Real Atletico Bilbao? He played in the right 10 and he was cooking. Yeah, he literally played behind Dogu, and I seen him cooking. I was like, that's what he can do. But because we've seen him carry the ball, we're assuming that he's a right wing back. And I hear it.
No, he's the only one that looks proficient, Saeed. He's the only like the wing back who looks proficient. Yeah, he's the only one. Big up Rance.
Big up Rance, man. Yeah. Bro, but that's what I'm saying. But then the next one is
Rance Amorim out.
No, but the thing is, though, this is where, for me, Ineos have to make a decision now. Because if you say now, we're going to be building for a back five, or we're going to be buying players, right, and we're going to be doing whatever, they're not necessarily going to buy for the manager. They're going to buy for the club, yeah. But it's still going to tailor towards a back five system, right? So a 3-4-3, for example, this one here. Like, you need to make your mind up now, because a lot of these players, we might not need to go and get a couple of centre-backs. Because right now, Dogu play left back, Maserati play right back. Then you've got a couple of backups like Lenny Euro and Dilly. Like there's things there in it. You feel me? And Aiden Heaven, etc., etc. If you go for a back five, you're already thinking now one centre back, one right back, blah, 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 blah. But really and truly, we don't really need that many. So now, if you're now backing the manager, you still have to realize, okay, we need to buy 2 centre backs, or we need to buy another 2 full backs. But really and truly, there are there. But all of a sudden, you said Mazraoui is a backup. Mazraoui is a competent right back.
I'm saying, but there's nothing wrong with being depth. There's nothing wrong with having a player for depth.
I agree with that.
Like, I by the way, I completely agree with you. My biggest worry is if we sell people like Rashford, and people are going to say, you'll still talk about Rashford, but selling a player like Rashford, selling Kobe Mainoo potentially being on a transfer list in the summer.
Bro,
players that, if you revert back to playing a natural 4-3-3 or a 4-4-2 or whatever it is, players that you can utilize, because I'm worried that United are going to get rid of all the players that can play football for system players and then move away from the system and be back at square one.
That's my worry. That's exactly what I was saying. That's my worry. Because then, if Kobe says, you know what, I've had enough now, I can't be arsed here. Man, don't be fooled by this lethargic Kobe Mainoo right now. Lethargic Kobe Mainoo. We knew Kobe Mainoo's not the most mobile, but we know Kobe Mainoo's a talented player. So for you to say, well, he don't fit the system, get him out. That's what people would be telling me. Well, Kobe Mainoo needs to fix up and get with the system. No, I'm not doing that. I'm not losing a player of Kobe Mainoo's quality because of the system. No, we're not doing that. You have to, I'm not saying embed him and he has to be the first starter, but all of a sudden we're saying that Kobe Mainoo ain't great anymore. Come on, man. What are we doing here, man? You see what I mean, bro? Like, I don't think that's possible. But what I will say is, if you are going to keep the manager and you go to back him, you've got to do it early. You can't be half-hearted. I don't want to be seeing briefs in the summer saying, not sure about this system, not sure about what we're doing here. The club, we don't know what we're going here. We don't really want to buy this player. Then Amorim all of a sudden saying, well, yeah, he's a good player, but deep down you can see you don't really fancy the player. All of a sudden, we sign him and he's on the bench because he don't fit the system. Oh, he doesn't fit the midfield too. He doesn't fit the right 10 role. These things are going to happen. So that's why it's a crucial time for Man United right now. And if you had competent owners, we would know. Let me get these super chats involved. I disagree, Minna. If you look at our... Oh, come on, man, please. What's this? X points last season? We would have finished 15th. So we are right now where we are supposed to be.
X points.
Yeah, I was going to say that. I was going to say that, actually.
What's the X points? Ishaga,
I don't know. Please tell me, man. I don't know. My head's hurting.
Okay, let me explain what he's saying. He's basically saying if we didn't do those couple robberies and where we won those games, 4 or 5 games under Eric Ten Hag, where we robbed about 10 points or whatever, then without that we would be. So for me, I'm not gonna lie to you. So my answer was that Manchester United, I expected Manchester United to finish with the way Amorim system is and how they're gonna finish. I thought they would finish maybe 10, 12, around 12, but I didn't expect it to be 16, right? And 16 to 12 is not that big difference.
What is
But
this?
Manchester
Hold on a
United
minute.
is that.
Has Amorim done another interview?
Yeah, he did. That's all he does. He does.
No,
interviews,
Miller, are you actually seeing this? Has he actually done another interview?
Has he done another
That's all he
interview?
does.
What the heck is this, man? Bro, Sky Sports, man. How, like, I get we got a game on Friday.
Where are you seeing this?
It's on Sky Sports News. 1827.
What are they saying?
He said, I'm really embarrassed that in 26 games we have won 6.
Yeah. Tell me something that we don't know, Amorim. Saeed, that's all he does. The remixing, all the.
But you guys know how unfortunately.
No, but I'm
but
tired.
you know how it works. Because
I know.
Because the game is on Sky on Friday.
It's on Sky on Friday. Yeah. So soon is mad.
Rights. They get interview rights obviously ahead of the game. It's just that, so they pick. We'll see the Maresca interview probably come out in a couple of days, but no one's going to care too much about that because it's not United.
Yeah,
but it's unfortunate that there are a lot of media duties when you're a manager. I don't agree with it, but broadcast holders, have a lot of privileges. They've got a lot of privileges.
He does more interviews.
He
does more interviews than we have goals or points this season.
Now, what I
don't even need to look that up. I know that's a fact. It's unfortunate.
But I'm telling you now, Ten Hag didn't do this amount of interviews, and we were bad last season.
Ten Hag did a lot of interviews, but it probably because they didn't want to interview.
Facts.
We win trophies, yeah. No, but also the guy didn't really.
They probably didn't want to interview him.
He was boring.
Average, they know he's gonna give them something to post.
He's gonna give them I'm not gonna lie.
Headline. He gives them headlines. He gives them headlines.
He gives him headlines. Well, he gives
you
headlines.
Hag was never gonna. Ten Hag was like a stone. You can't get blood out of a stone.
Bro, I watched the interview yesterday.
You just sit there and go,
There's a Spanish.
Ten Hag would just sit there and go, we're gonna win trophies. At the end of the season, we win the trophy.
That's the quickest interview that Sky will ever do.
Nah, well, I'm not gonna lie to you. The way, like I said, in life,
somebody take the piss. Someone in the chat.
What it is,
please pin that comment. Emperor Star. Emperor Stars. Go the one. 632. No, 632. The one with Marcel.
632. Marcel, Yeah, crazy, man. And that's what I'm saying. We haven't even heard from Marcel nowadays. Is Marcel all right, by the way?
Well, I good to basically like 6 months ago, bro. I ain't seen him.
No, real talk, man. Is Marcel okay, man?
I haven't seen him or spoken to him in like months, bro.
He's not been on the Mandem Talk for like 3-4 weeks.
Check in on him.
People, make sure you find out what Marcel's saying, man. Listen, if he's on the Mandem Talk this week, then listen, bro, I'm not hearing from him, bro. I need to hear some positivity. I need to hear, has he got a plan? No, real talk, Musa. Nuruddin. I need to hear some positivity, bro. I need to hear what his plan is like. Has he got an explanation for all of this? Now, real talk, man. I need a bit of that dopamine, bro.
You're clutching at straws, yeah? Clutching at straws.
Bro, man.
When you're asking about health.
People got
begging for that toxic positivity.
Bro, I need to know.
Marcel's going to tell you Europa League, Saeed. That's what Marcel's going to tell you. He's going to tell you Europa League.
No, Marcel said next season is a write-off as well for Amorim.
He said, you know what? I don't want his opinion now. That's it. Yeah,
he said it's a write-off next season.
Yeah, he said next season is a write-off, he said. Yeah, that's crazy.
And why is that, Mina? Why?
I don't know. I stopped listening after that part.
Yeah, I stopped listening.
Shout out to
Let me get these super chats in, by the way. I knew it would be a relegation season. But a dog, big up to you, my friend. He says, all due respect, none of this is Amorim's fault. These players are not good enough. He had to prioritize Europa League and sacrifice the Prem. The players are not good enough. Give the man summer transfer window. I mean, it depends. Like when you say sacrifice the Premier League, to what extent, though, innit? Like, the results have been
I don't
absolutely...
think I don't think he gave up on the Prem. I think the club did. I think it's a club decision.
Especially in the January transfer window, yeah. You're right.
Yeah, it's a club decision.
When you look at Man City spent 200 million.
It's a club decision.
Yeah. We would have been better off getting Thomas Frank to work on a budget and we'll set the team up properly. Our fan base want Fergie. I can't lie to you, man. If they offered Thomas Frank, I wouldn't be against it. I really wouldn't, man. A lot of people are sleeping on Thomas Frank. Really, I don't know why you're laughing.
Football. No, I'm just saying it's effective football, isn't it? It's effective. It depends what you want.
He knows the Premier League inside out. I wouldn't mind Thomas Frank.
I'm laughing because I'm laughing. Saeed, that level of desperation. If I would have said to you last season, Thomas Frank.
I said it. Before we link with Amorim, me and Double A had a debate, and I said a name that should be in the hat should be Thomas Frank. And then
but United fans think they're better, Saeed. But United fans think they're better.
Frank. Yeah,
I think they're better.
Yeah, I think for me, he knows his football. He plays effective football. Look at the players that he's brought in and look how he's improved them. Look at all these guys. He bought Mbuemo when he was 19. Look at the play he is right now. He bought Wisa at 21. Look at the play he is right now. Damsgaard, okay, he's had a few off season, but look at his system. It's effective.
The other guy, Fletcher, whatever it is, the guy, he's got something like
8th this season. It's 8th. And you look at the budget that they spent, and the owner they've got, the owner's not even worth 30 million, apparently, the owner.
Listen, Saeed, he's got 2 players scored over 18 goals.
18 goals. I'm sorry, man. I'm sorry. Craig says, yeah, I think I read that one. Abdulaziz, big up to Saeed, winning creates a winning culture. When Mourinho came to England, he targeted the League Cup. When Ferguson hadn't won in 2.5 years, he focused on the same cup in 2006 for his last great squad. Left 10, right 10, left wing back, centre mid striker, left side centre back, goalkeeper, centre mid, right centre mid, right wing back in this order. Bloody hell, that's
how many players is that?
4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Let's get busy.
Left wing back. What about Patrick Dogu? What you said? What
you have to fund this, man. The Indians are not funding this. You have to start the GoFundMe for that one, mate. Saeed wouldn't fit any system, says Ali A. Abdulaziz says, I'm glazed out. Indians out. Indians must not repeat last summer's mistakes. United need players who fit multiple systems and a manager aligned with a club clear, defined philosophy. Again, are Ineos going to do that? These are words that I want to hear, but is it going to happen? I don't think so.
They're not going to do. I told you it's a vanity project.
Yeah,
what more things do I have to say? How many more things do I have to talk about these vultures?
Yeah.
Everybody was getting excited.
Rain reminds me of Rangnick era. Rangnick did better than Amorim. Amorim is your Potter face. Don't worry, he'll be sacked. I mean, that's it. Potter.
Yo, big up Harsh.
Yeah. I don't know, man. Like I said to you, I think for me, yeah, I don't know. Like for me, everyone's got names in it of managers that will like to succeed. But bro, it's about recruitment, man. If we get the recruitment right, you can get a manager. You've got to get the recruitment right.
Saeed, I'm not lying to you. I used to think it was just about recruitment. No, it's about the direction. It's about the philosophy. It's about what are we? It's about what are we? The direction the owners want to take the football club. That's what it's about. It's about that. And the owners don't give a damn. And the only thing what will get himself sacked. Can I just say something? What he said yesterday, yeah, obviously yesterday he was proper concussed. They got Mr. Originator of concussed.
You know,
was concussed yesterday.
That was the moment where we realized the manager's concussed.
Yeah, he's concussed. So let me just say this. What he said is that maybe we shouldn't play the Champions League. Do you think that the Glazers and Ineos want to hear that? When he's saying what Mina said, I've been saying for a long time. Do you think the Glazers want to hear that? They don't want to hear that. They want Champions League, mate. And the thing about it is that those who want Amorim out, Amorim wants to walk anyway by himself. So I don't know why you all screaming. Yeah, I don't know why you all are screaming.
Yeah. I'm Glazers and Ineos out, but Ineos must not repeat last summer's mistake. United need players who fit multiple system manager aligned with a clear. I think I read that one already. Musa, how you doing, man? You know what I mean? I'm sure you're not letting United ruin your weekend, man. You know what I mean? The weather's nice. To be fair, it's thunderstorms in London today, isn't it? Is it?
Yeah, it just started recently, but I got my champagne phobe on. I'm outside.
Come
you know
on.
what I'm saying?
Listen, Musa looks like he's been enjoying the sunshine, bro. Just like me. Getting that top of that tan, mate.
The Lord is there.
That melanin, mate.
Well, no, you have to get that melanin D. You got to get it popping.
Yeah, man.
Word. What you saying though? How you feeling, Musa, man? How you feeling?
To be honest, like, Amrin, I really wanted Amrin to succeed, but I think for me, I've always said it from the start. I think he walked into a situation where that January transfer window, man, I don't think we can just. It was so important to him in terms of just being able to just get a foothold of this squad to start pushing them in a direction that you can see that Amrin is trying to do something with them and that they're actually listening. I just feel like there's only so many hits you can take in one season to then start a new season in around 2.5 months, and expect to pick these. Like, you can't pick a team up. If Amrin jumps 10 positions, it only puts him sixth in the league or 7th. You know what I mean? And I think that's asking a lot. Can we see Amrin jumping 10 positions next season?
Bro, it's ridiculous. I don't know if you've just seen, but
that's a lot of points. That is a lot of points to collect. A lot of games to win.
Yeah, I was gonna say, Moose. I don't know if you've seen, but the club briefed today that they want to finish top 6 next year. That's their aim next season.
Let's talk about lowering the standard. So, what happened to Project 2058? Yeah, whatever it was.
21 and 28.
Yeah. 28. What happened to 21? Project 21. What happened to that? What happened to 28? It's like they were drawing, when that Omar Barada, that potato head, right? Potato head was drawing that Project 2021, 2028. Right, rip it apart. And what is it now, Saeed? So I can keep up. 6, is it? 6 in the Prem. 6 in the
Project 6, they should call it now. Project 6
in the Prem. There you go. You got it there, people. There it is. Project 6 in the Prem.
That's madness, though. To think about that Amrin came in and we were like, 4 points off 4th. And then we saw 4th place gradually drift apart. Then we were like, we're only a couple points off the European spot. Then we saw the European spots drift away to where we are now. I just think it's asking a lot for a new manager to get a group of new players in. He's going to need like 5 new signings, and then he's going to hope that they hit the ground running and that he starts competing early on in the season. If he doesn't, he's going to have a fan base of people who are on the fence all of a sudden just turn on him, and then it's just going to be crazy because he's going to start sounding crazy in the press conferences. People are going to start picking at every single word that he says. The press go on, and we're going to go nuts losing to teams that we shouldn't be losing to. It's going to be untenable for him. And I just feel like, do you go into that now with him, knowing that he's not going to get the grace of a new season? That everyone's going to look at it as Amrin's 2nd season, or do you just start again?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. And this is what I'm trying to say. They have to make that decision early, Musa, man. Like, my thing is,
start again, FC.
Yeah, because remember,
here we go. How about we start again, but in the championship and have a total reset, boys?
Yeah, they might go back to Ruben Van Nistelrooy, because Ruben Van Nistelrooy could be sacked at the end of the season, man. You know that, like, there's no guarantee of him. And all of a sudden they could say, you know what? If it's not working next season, let's bring Rude back, and then they'll give Rude to the end of the season, and then give Rude the permanent role, and then it's all of a sudden, well, is Rude ready for the job? Is he there? Is he? Like, it's a very, very vicious cycle you're in right now. And I'm not gonna lie to you, man. They haven't got a project to sell. Normally you can say to yourself, you know what, we got something to sell. We got we can say, you know what, this club is gonna be back in the next 3 to 5 years. We're not gonna be there now, but in 3 to 5 years, we're gonna be challenging or whatever. They can't sell that to a manager. They can't. They haven't got guaranteed. They haven't got guaranteed infrastructure. They don't have nothing to say, you know what? We've got no, look at our last positions. We finished 3rd, and then now look at it, 8th, 16th. Next season, what? Do you man really see us finishing top
But
10?
I still don't think we got a bad squad, Saeed. I still don't think we got a bad squad. I still don't think we've got a squad that shouldn't be competing for 6 this season. And I think if you win a European Cup and there's a manager out there who believes in himself, I think a manager that sees a club just pick up a European Cup, pick up a third trophy in 3 years, and look deep into the core of the squad, I think he picks out players he thinks that he can get a good tune out. Everyone thinks that. I think if you look at your back four when they're fit, you've got Martinez there, Euro, Delit, Mazraoui. Like, do you know what I'm saying? You've got something there. You've got Dorgu. You look at your midfield, whether we like them or not, someone out there might look at Ugarte and think, look, he's been the victim of a poor United. You know, he's come in there where the team's transitioning and he's been asked to do a lot. I think someone might think they can get something more out of Ugarte. I think a lot of managers would love to have a senior pro like Casemiro in the midst, whether he starts or not, just being a thereabouts. A lot of, even when you look at Xavi was talking about midfielders he likes to watch. He likes Bruno Fernandes. There's a lot of coaches out there, whether we like them or not, they think that they can give Bruno a different type of direction. You got Kobe there, who everyone agrees that, you know, he should be.
Getting a tune out of something like, bro, like, you know, like something you just got to throw in the bin, you know. You know when you've got something in your gaff here and you think, you know what, I can fix it, I can make it, and I can mend it. Sometimes you just got to throw it away and say, you know what, let's start fresh. That's what I believe with a lot of these players.
You know what I like though, Saeed? I like coaches that their systems make players look better rather than players making their systems look good. Because
that's why I said Thomas Frank. That's why I said Thomas Frank.
Yeah, I don't mind those type of coaches that their systems make players look good, rather than we're waiting for an Amorim or what we had with Ten Hag, where they need a set of players to make their philosophy look good. I ain't got time for that. I need a manager, what we saw with LVG, where he came in. Sorry about that. I want a manager like LVG who came in, you know, and his style of and his system started to make players look better. I remember when Arsene Wenger first came in at Arsenal and he was playing ball, and you know he had players who a lot of people were thinking, are they really that good? And they would leave Arsenal and they wouldn't be the same player. And it would be that system that Wenger put together, made players actually got 5% more out of a player, 10% more out of a player. I need a manager that does that. And if we get a manager that does that, he starts to get a bit more out of Kobe. He gets a bit more out of Dorgu. He gets more out of Euro. You know, they progress these players on. Right now, a lot of our young players, we don't see this progression in terms of how do they progress as young footballers at a high level club? How do they go on and kind of be the type of player that they're meant to be? I don't see it at Man United. We just bring in youngsters and hope that they hit the ground running as if they're 24, 25.
Facts.
And the only youngster, 1 minute there, Noreen, quickly. The only youngster that I've seen come through and have a step of like in terms of progressing in his capabilities has been Ahmad, and that happened by accident because the manager didn't fancy him. The managers didn't fancy him, so they sent him out on loan where he progressed at Rangers and Sunderland. He's come back at 23 years old, and he's had a level of schooling at other clubs, other leagues, grown man football, and he's been able to, you know, get better as a player. Then he's come. That happened by accident. That wasn't even.
Like, it was Tony Mowbray that improved him. It was Tony Mowbray that improved him, and he will always be grateful at Sunderland, right?
You got to remember, it was that forcing away from not being involved, and apparently there was reports of maybe Fulham coming in last summer. You know,
I remember that.
Me and you were acceptance. We told people that Ten Hag didn't fancy him.
Yeah.
Me and you told them a long time before. We were like, Ten Hag, when you went to meet him at the training ground, we knew that was, you know what I mean? Like, he knows where he wanted to leave. But Musa, I agree with a lot of the things that you said, brother. Big up to you. There's a lot of things I disagree. Well, there's a couple of 1 or 2 things I disagree with. That you and Saeed agreed on that our players are better than our players. I genuinely 100% think.
No, not all of them. Not all of them.
No. Let me just finish that. Large majority of our squad is shit. They're crap. They have zero physicality, they have zero mentality, and zero technical ability. And Mina can either agree or disagree with me. We've got about 5 players at a football club.
You can't pick 11, Nordin. You can't get 11. That's
nah.
Are you sure?
Nah, because I looked at them individually, right? I agree with you. Maybe get one of these coaches who just get them in the system, and the system gets the best out of them. But when I look at every player in terms of their what they're made from, when I look at those players, I look at the squad. I actually think we let go of a lot of players who have technical ability.
Yeah, I agree.
We let go of players who had a bit of physicality. We let a lot of those players go, and now we've got players who are weak mentally, weak physically. That's the biggest thing. The biggest to me and how the Premier League in the last 10 years, or maybe in the last 7, 8 years, or last even 5 years, has got more physical. The physicality of it, we are some of the weakest footballers, because what we were built on was built on playing through 2 players or 3 players and playing counter-attack football.
Facts.
Right? Now we play with players who can't even stay on their feet. Forget about other people bullying them. They're literally Bambis on ice. They fall over when nobody's near them. So the lack of physicality, the lack of technical ability, the lack of mentality that's what we lack. And it is shocking to see. And the biggest thing is the midfielders. And I'm sorry, football still remains what it still remains 11 aside.
Midfield game.
Your midfielders have to be.
I agree.
Your midfielders, and I say it again and again till the cows come home, the last good midfield in terms of balance we had, and actually one of them I had an issue with, and people want to shoot me, but that's about personal preference, was Hargreaves, Carrick, and Scholes. Somebody who can dictate the game, somebody who had the physical output of 3-4 players, that was Hargreaves, and somebody who used to just cover and just get the ball forward quickly enough through the lines, as Carrick used to do. I think defensively he was wanting, but at least he could pass the ball forward from deep lining to break lines. Scholes could dictate the game, right? Hargreaves ran the game with his physicality, aggression, and energy. And ever since then, we've never recovered. My Facebook status, I was never on X back in the day, was that after coming back from Arsenal, 8-2 we battered them. And guess who I put on Facebook? So I said, can we get Lasana Diarra? And can we get Schneider? They're the 2 players I was like, let's go United, come on, get those 2. You know what I mean? Get those 2. Yeah. But at the end of the day, we have never fixed anything because we've never had a proper
Casemiro.
We've never had a proper Casemiro at this moment in time. Casemiro is the last gasp. What we say from Casemiro is the last gasp of the powers that be, how you will be. He's come to a different league, more physicality, different. And the other, actually, that big up to United fans, that was the closest we ever come to, was those 3. But they were not together, and they weren't all fit all of the time playing together, right? And that season actually, how many goals did we score? That season with that midfield? 65 goals, I think. The top 3 scored. And that was during lockdown. Empty stadiums.
You see when you look at this team and this squad and you think to yourself, they're not good enough. What are they not good enough to achieve? Are they not good enough to achieve?
They're not good enough
6?
to play modern football. They're not good enough for me. When I look at individually, if I go through the lines of this, so for me, Masraoui at the back is physically good. He's robust physically. He can play in terms of like, where if you want to fight, if you want to, technical ability, he can secure the ball. He can take the ball in difficult situations. No, only other one that is young is Euro. Maguire can't do it. De Ligt can't really do it. Right, Lefandro Martinez is injury pro. No, De Ligt is decent, but what I'm saying to you in terms of physical robustness, taking the ball at every angle. So when I judge footballers, I judge on the physicality and the technical ability and how much you are press resistant as well. When I look at that, the only people at the back I can see is maybe Lenny Euro can grow into that role. He's shown a bit of it. Heaven, a little bit, but the data is too much. And with young players, 1 minute they're like this, 1 minute they're like this, right? So we can't really expect that.
I think there's no balance. That's a key question. You know what I've noticed here? There was someone that said it online today,
but a balance, you need different physicality and technicality to balance.
We don't have players that complement each other. Like I saw something in Rashford and Xerxes. I see something in Rashford and Xerxes, and I was like, you know what? Let's see what this materializes. And obviously Rashford, when he obviously got kicked out by the manager, I don't see any players that complement each other. Like, we haven't seen it enough. You know what I mean? Where you can see, right, that player there complements him. Look at Hoyland and Garnacho. They can't stand each other. They don't want to pass to each other. Bruno's having a go at Rashford. Sorry, Bruno's having a go at Garnacho's having a go at Højlund. Like, it's not many players that complement
But
each other. In that
Saeed, listen to this, though, Saeed. If you've got a midfield three of Ugarte is the deepest, Casemiro, then Bruno in a 4-3-3, in what world does a midfield three of Casemiro, Bruno, and Ugarte not work?
But the thing is, though, I think in the long term, I wouldn't say it works because I think ultimately the two that are behind Bruno won't keep the ball for me.
Saeed, listen, no.
I don't think
Casemiro, listen. There's no way in a midfield three of Casemiro, Ugarte, and Bruno.
I don't think it works long term. It might work for what we are right now, and I think this season we would have probably better results. Don't get me wrong, we would not be where we are if we had that midfield three.
I look all around the midfield. This is what I'm saying. But my thing is that midfield three competes for a top 6 position. I look around and I see what Casemiro does now, getting the ball off someone like.
I agree.
The problem is the reason Casemiro and Bruno work well is because Ugarte is not there. But if Ugarte was there breaking up the play and just giving the ball to one of them two, there'll be a different position. The problem is Amorim's system bypasses the midfielders. It's not really about that.
It's the problem is with that system, yeah. You only need one of Ugarte or Amorim. You don't need both of them. You need just one. So keep one. If you're saying keep Casemiro, okay, you keep him. But then you have
it's just a system, though. Yeah,
Sorry?
but the problem is if you're playing a 4-3-3, for an example, even Kobe Mainu is better in a 3. So what I'm saying is so even if you have
work.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Even if you have Kobe Mainu in one of those free midfield positions, just changing, because this is one of the things we spoke about with Rance, is that Alonso plays the 3 at the back. But Rance was speaking about a game when he had to play Bayern Munich and he changed it and played a 4-4-2, not being stuck in that system. I just don't see in a world where, example, Ugarte is the deepest, but Ugarte needs 2 more midfielders in front of him. He can't be paired with just one. He needs 2 more.
But that's what I'm saying. We have to get away from that, though. We need a player that can say, right, I've got this. Look at yesterday, for example, yeah. Lavia and Caicedo, yeah. Brother, them man bossing 10 man. They had 10 minutes today, yeah. And
Lavia, they got a 3-man midfield.
No, they got a 3-man midfield. What I'm saying to you, though, is that a lot of the time Enzo was trying to get forward and trying to push up forward the pitch. You can see, though, Lavia on his own can still dictate a midfield because he's press resistant. You need someone that can be like, you know what? Look at yesterday. The ball got taken off him.
Technical ability.
Yeah. So you got someone who said, you know what? He's reliable enough to say, you know what? I've got this. Yes, Caicedo is playing there. Cool. But at least we know Lavia not going to lose the ball. You know Lavia.
I'm not against this. I'm not against this. I didn't want Ugarte, and I'm not against it. I didn't want Ugarte in the first place. I'm not against it.
Yeah.
But even playing Casemiro deeper with Bruno and Kobe in a midfield 3 is still top 6. I just know we've got enough.
That's what you've got right now. I disagree. It's not top 6 because the top 6 is what you see right now.
No, but we could compete. When I look at the top 6 for
of course, compete.
Yeah, we can compete.
I'm sorry. I'm really sorry, Musa. They have 0 physicality.
But we've already done it. But they've already done it.
You've got a guy who's aging. You've got a youngster, and you've got Bruno who's the weakling as well.
But I would argue Casemiro's been just as good this season as he was last season. We've already done it, Noradine. We're going on like United was finishing
8th last season.
Yeah, so why can't we do it again now? Give me 8th now. Give me 8th now. I'll be happy. Just give me 8th, Saeed. Give me 8th and the Europa League.
We're going to get clipped, man. We're going to get clipped, man.
8th. What does 8th mean? How can you get clipped for 8th? What does 8th mean? Unless there's a new street word I don't know about.
I swear to God, listen, Musa, Saeed, listen, and the chat. I've had to get a lemsit because I swear to God, listen, I've had to go and get a lemsit, yeah? Because talking about Manchester United gives me a headache.
No, listen to this.
It gives me a headache. It's physically not good for me to talk about this football club. Physically, mentally.
I'm not blaming you, but I'm blaming the fact that we're now like we're seeing 8th as like something crazy. But
let's just deal with the reality. My thing is this:
reality.
Listen to me. As someone who coined Eric Ten Hag to be concussed. Eric Ten Hag does not finish outside the top 10 this season. He does not, Saeed. Eric Ten Hag now does not finish outside the top 10.
Without McTominay, he didn't have McTominay, so I think he would have,
Regardless, no, Eric Ten Hag don't. But guess what, Saeed? If Eric Ten Hag finishes 8th or 9th this season, we would lose our heads.
No.
Every single one of us is calling.
You know why? Because he created this squad. He spent 600 to 800 million.
Right.
The fact that Amrin hasn't done that,
Different level
that's
of
why Amrin's
expectation.
getting the leeway and the almost
I agree. But Amrin, nobody brought Amrin in with the idea that he would be any worse than Eric Ten Hag.
They did. They did. The guy that told them, they sacked him. The guy who told him was Dan Ashworth. He said what he wants to play is not compatible with his squad. What are you guys doing? And he got P45. Half time, he got called to go
downstairs I agree with that.
to meet Barada. Can you imagine that? Look, even the way they sacked him. They didn't wait for Monday morning. They sacked him on a Saturday when his family are up in the director's box. They called him to go downstairs to get sacked at halftime.
Facts.
They did that. So what does that tell you?
Just Waffler says, what worries me that Amorim's comments make it sound like he doesn't have confidence in himself to coach. He sounds like a sporting director. Facts. Shane says, Ineos project it's just the Chelsea project on a budget. All these young players were not going to get use anywhere. Reinders going to City, Wirtz going to Bayern. Yeah, it's crazy. Bruno's
oh my God! Please don't tell me. Please, please don't tell me. Reinders is going to stay here. Please, I beg you. I beg you, don't tell me.
Bro, relax, bro. We're not on their level, bro. That's it, man. Just say it's what it is, man. Bruno's the main reason. United midfield never controls game. He needs to leave. Winning in the Premier League in 2028. What happened? And HK said our midfield is severely lacking. All of Bruno, Ugarte, Casemiro have deficiencies in their game, and they also don't fit well together. We need an overhaul in the midfield three. I think we need two midfielders, man. I think for me,
Amorim weren't really the best midfielder when he was playing the game, and the problem
he was a utility man, right? But he told us. The only position I never played was striker and somewhere else. Like, guy,
and goalkeeper.
That's why we got this system, man.
And that's the problem. For me, Amorim's team doesn't build around the midfield. It bypasses them with these flying wing backs and trying to get the ball to the 210s. It bypasses them. Those sixes are not that important to him. They're just there to break up the ball and get it to the 210s and the flying fullbacks. I'm not interested in that football. I'll be honest with you. I'm not interested, Saeed. You just got to be more flexible. I'm not interested. I need a manager who builds his team around the engine, around the midfield. I need technical ballers. Sometimes when we talk about this physicality, City have not always had the most physical players. They'll make you do laps running around. Barcelona running around, trying to catch them. The same what PSG are doing now. You're running around trying to catch these small players. They're technically gifted. They move the ball around quick. And individually, if they were to do a 100-meter sprint, they're not even that fast.
Yeah. Facts.
That guy they bought from Napoli, he's not that fast, Saeed.
I know.
But the way he controls the ball, the way he moves the ball, the way he sees the game, the way he receives the pass, releases the ball, it's just at a whole different level. And PSG were failing in the Champions League. They barely got out the group stage. They were failing. They went and bought my man from Napoli in the January transfer window, and everything changed.
They got a director of football, Campos, who put the team together. They've got
I was told that Man United's got a director of football. They went and brought people in. Where's our guy?
Guy got sacked.
Where's the new one that's took in his position? We had the other one, the French guy that first came in.
Nobody knows.
Where's the French guy that first came in? That French one.
He was the director of football.
Bro, did you see the clip, by the way, of the guy that what was that guy? It's called something Keen. He's telling today. He did an interview today, by the way, on the Overlap, talking about he never slept that summer when we bought all the players. And
one of the Keen brothers, the guy who's a lawyer. Brothers, he was helping us negotiate. Yeah, he's the brother of the Keane who plays for Everton.
Yeah. Watch that interview, man, Musa, on the Overlap. He was talking about the transfer and how they only started work in May or something like that. They
That's the
normally
Glazers.
start in September before
Yeah.
the season. Yeah. And he's saying that we did all the work in 14 to 16 weeks. And I was like, rate. No wonder they overspent, man, because they were panicking.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Every time
What's wrong with Man United?
I would say 3 years, yet we are saying he would finish top 10 like some achievement. Notice between 8th and 16th for me, especially taking into account money and time spent. Yeah, man. Bro,
There's
I'm
no
not like
difference between 8th and 16th, yeah. We might as well just keep flipping my man in then, Amrin. If you don't think there's a difference between finishing 8th and 16th, flipping it.
You know, I think for me, United will finish in between 8th and again around that 15th position. I'll be gobsmacked if we finish 6th, 7th, or whatever. I think it'll be around about 6, 7, 8, all the way down to 15th. Could be anywhere between there again.
My thing is this though, Saeed. Yeah?
For me, am I seeing teams like Brighton, Crystal Palace again? By the way, yeah, we had a head start on these man. You know why? Them man had 8. They never won in their first 8 games. This season, by the way, guys, yeah, you know how mad is this season? Crystal Palace, Wolves, Ipswich. A lot of teams didn't win their first opening 8 games. Am I right, guys, or wrong?
Yeah, I remember
all
that.
These teams, didn't win in their first 8 games, you know. We had a head start. And then I said, yo, bye-bye. See you later. Them man just went past us. That's scary, you know.
Ineos. Yeah, we're finished though. And I'm looking at Ineos signing, and I'm saying Ineos have made 5 signings, yeah? Have they made 5 or 6 with Dorgu?
They made 5, 6 with Dorgu, yeah.
They made 6 signings. They need to make 5 more to make an 11. If Ineos sign 5 more players, does that 11? Yeah, make 11. Does that 11 look like an 11 that we can say, right, Ineos have,
it's not 11 because of the system. Because if you now get that 11, if you had a 4-3-3, for example, that 5 could probably start games. With that 5, they might be back up to the guys that are already here, and they might not be in the team straight away. Do
you know what's mad though? Yeah, I'm with you. You know what's mad though? One of the maddest thing is this though. Ugarte is an Amorim signing in brackets because he was one of these players. So why can't is Ugarte going to still be in the 11 with Amorim or is he not?
I don't know. That's what I'm saying.
Doing?
That's what I'm saying. We don't know. We don't know. That's concerning because he's the one that's coming off every single time first.
So when we're talking about Amorim and getting players that Amorim likes and that fit Amorim's positions, if Ugarte wasn't at Man United now, he would be one of the players that people will be saying we need to get. So imagine Ugarte's at PSG. He's only getting a few minutes this season. He's not really playing. Everyone will be talking about United's link to Ugarte because he used to play for Amorim and he's at PSG and he's not getting minutes.
I know.
So what's going on? Now you've got him. What's going on?
I don't know. I think he'll walk, man. I'll be honest with you, man. He might walk before he gets sacked, man.
I think he should win if he wins. I think, and another thing, with everything that Amorim's done in his career as a manager, why we went and got him and we got excited, he's never won a European title.
No, he's won a couple of sporting, but never won a title.
He's never won the Europa League. Obviously, we know he ain't won the Champions League. They haven't done the conference. So what has he won? Other than what he's won in Portugal.
If you had the chance to pull the plug now in the summer, would you knowing that what's that stake?
I would let him win. I would let him win his first European title, because Man United would have given him that gift. He's never won it as a manager. I'll let him put that on his TV, and I'll say, "See you later." Yeah, because you haven't won it as Sporting with all the good stuff that you've done. You've won everything you can in Portugal. You've won a European title with Man United.
He'd be actually winning more than us, because
of course he would be.
He would actually be getting that on his CV, and then bang, later on, he might go get a bigger club, do better elsewhere, then we'd be suffering a year down the line.
He could put the blame on us. He could say, look, he could put the blame on us. I won the European title. The setup at Man United is crazy. The players they had weren't good enough. I never bought any of my own players. He can go again. He can go again. And that's the best thing to do. For me, we need to learn from Eric Ten Hag, who won the FA Cup, and we kept him. Let Amorim win the Europa League and say goodbye. We can see it's not going to work. Let a manager come in who's going to have a full summer, get his players in the summer, and allow that new manager to have a fresh start at a club. That's what I'm on.
Let's get this last image up for a wrap up. If Amorim spent 600 million, we'd give him 3 years. He's not finishing 8th. That's the point. Yeah, I don't think he'll finish eighth if he spends 600 million. I think he's got a bit more, but tactically better than the manager Ten Hag. If I'm being honest with you,
I agree, but
we don't know. It's
I
here,
think-
there, on you know what I mean. Like I don't know, but I just think right now, bro, we right now we're not qualified, man. Musa, word to you, nobody's qualified. We don't know what we want. Yeah, that's it, man.
It's long.
We're not qualified. We're not qualified, man. Everyone's.
But you know what is though, Saeed? Eric Ten Hag, got third and got to 2 cup finals, the Carabao Cup and the FA Cup. I think if I'm correct.
And then he
And he
finished
got
eighth.
third.
And then he
No, but I'm
finished
just
eighth.
saying he got third that season, Noradine. He
Mm.
got to 2 finals in that season, and it still wasn't enough.
That was a fake season, by the way. I don't know that season. Honestly, I think it's fake, man. I need to go back to that season. You know,
Now that's when
and find out how
Ronaldo
we
scored all
finished
them goals. I think
third. How did we
Ronaldo.
finish third that season, really, man? Like, what happened, man? Listen, man, like, genuinely, guys, how did we finish third that season, man? I really want to know. You know, that season was fake, man. I need to go back to that season and find out. Was it Rashford just doing a madness? Was it David De Gea?
No, it was Rashford doing the madness, and also we limped to third. Saeed. We limped to third because of the rest of the Premier
bro. I
League
need to
was
see that
crap.
system.
No, but my thing is this though.
Again,
Do you know
man.
why I get upset about these seasons? Yeah, when people say that we won games that we shouldn't have won with McTominay, like Noradine saying we limped to third. If all of those things are so easy, why can't Amorim limp to third? Limp
Because
to third, Amorim.
Because that's run out.
But it is
We
start of
play
the
with
season,
all
though,
our
innit?
luck, and all our things.
Or get these lucky last minute winners. Go on, Amorim, go and get one.
Now, Musa, we run out the bullets for the guns to do the daylight robberies, to do the stick up, bro. The weapons are old, the guns are old, and the bullets, we have got no bullets. So what are you gonna rob?
Run out of bullets, man.
But I'll tell you for free, guys. You see stick ups. For them to go right, a lot has to go your way. It's not easy to just do a stick up, you know, to get in and out. Those stick ups that Ten Hag done, as bad as he is, it wasn't easy. And I'm fearing that we might get what Noradine's been asking for. We could get relegated next season. If Amorim started the season, we would have got relegated.
Bring me relegation, man.
Championship. Listen, let's go there, man. It's more fun, man. Championship's
that
fun.
might wake them. Listen, Musa, that might wake the fans up. Bring me relegation. That might.
That's what Luton thought. They just got double
to the championship anyway.
Listen,
you know, me and Nordy will go to the games, away games, and that.
Luton just got a double relegation. They don't know what time it is. Imagine United got a double relegation.
Brother, you know what it is? We're looking at the guys that are coming up every year and not going to be good enough to survive. I'm telling you, we're going to be in that vicious cycle now. Maybe Leeds might do something, but I don't see any team getting relegated because you know why? They'll know how to get 3 or 4 wins together. They'll know how to get it. That is the reality. And if we don't start well next season, if we as a club do not start well next season, uncomfortable conversations. But listen, people, it's been an amazing episode of the Straightjacket podcast. Podcast 332. We passed 500 likes, but I would love to get us to 700 likes. You know what I mean? If you don't know where the like button is, it's literally across the page right here. I'll show you now if you don't know how to check it out, guys. It's right here, man, people. Bottom right-hand corner here. If you just hit the like button there, that will help the channel out massively. Get up to 700. You see it's on 556. Get that up to 700 if you can, guys. Nuruddin, big up to you as always, man. Enjoy the rest of the sunshine, man. We should be out of here, man. I'm getting out. I'm literally getting out.
Wallahi, I got a headache. I had to have a lemsip talking about Manchester United.
Because of the sun.
Say that again? I had a headache because we're talking about Manchester United.
Oh, okay, fair enough.
I got a headache. I got a headache because talking about Manchester United because that's what he asked. It gives me a headache.
Yeah.
Because we all know what the problems are, but everybody's too cowardly to do something about it. It is what it is.
Yeah.
Look.
Yeah.
Smash the likes, for people. It's original podcast on this channel. Smash the likes. Have some respect.
Yeah. Smash your likes, people, man. Smash your likes, people. Big up to everyone.
Big up Musa. Big up Miller as well.
Big up Miller. Musa always love, bro. Big up to you, man.
By the way, if you want to see my match reaction, go to the channel. Go and watch it. It was raw. It was real. I had enough.
Yeah.
And I've not been going angry. I had enough. And now I heard the news that Reinders, my favorite midfielder in Italy, is going to City.
It's crazy. Big up to everyone locked in. I'll see you lot later for the Big Six. I'll see you lot tomorrow. Some more, I don't know, man. bro. Let's see what happens at this club. We might get a briefing next week that we should be challenging. I don't know. Maybe we'll get
6 they said.